right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salakia. Put on my garment real quick. You know, through the example that the apostles and elders set through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we're out here even in the winter, man. Okay? No matter what the weather is, man, we're out here pushing this word out, man. Jake is going to want to get right when it's too late. When they see the destruction happening, when they see people, dead bodies all in the streets. That's what Jake is going to want to get right, man. And that's going to be too late at that point. Let's get Daniel's 12th chapter, the first verse. This is Daniel's 12:1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book," man. All right, so it's going to be so hectic out here that the archangel Michael is going to have to defend the Israelites, man. All right, specifically the elect. That's how bad it's going to get out here. It's going to be cannibalism going on. There's going to be race riots going on. All these things are coming in the near future, man. All right, so you Israelites, speaking about you so-called Negroes, you Latinos, and you Native Americans that don't get right, then you're going to be caught up in that, okay? Because you're of the chosen seed, man. If you don't get right, then guess what? There's the only thing left for you is to be destroyed, okay? Because you're not going to be coming into the kingdom with that wicked mind state, man. Jeremiah 30 verse 7, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Okay? It's the time of Jacob's trouble that's getting ready to happen, man. They showed you a preview of that in that new Nike commercial, man, where they had Israelites being beamed up in so-called UFOs, man, which are really the chariots of the Most High. You see? Esau's playing that game and he's putting that message out there because he knows what's up. He knows that what we're seeing is true. Okay, so he's putting that message out there. So basically, that's like an inside message for us. Okay, so when you look at that, you can clearly see that it was an Israelite being beamed up, all right, and that there was destruction all around. The same thing that we speak about, man. All right, because 2/3 of our people are going to get caught up in that. When Esau really gets rolling, when Esau really starts to let loose, man, and show his horns. That's when the Israelites are going to start to understand, okay, this is why they call him the devil. All right? Because Esau's been killing lately, man. He hasn't been showing you, like, he's been killing you Jakes here and there, but it's about to get to that Tulsa, Oklahoma status all around the globe, man. Okay? All around America, especially. You see? Because right now, the racial tension is higher than ever, man. All right? You got that devil, DJ Trump in office, and guess what? That's just adding more fuel to the fire. So eventually, it's gonna start to get physical. Let's get 2nd Ezra 13. No, 2nd Ezra 15. Salakia. So 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." You see, so the one people shall stand up to fight against another. You're gonna be thinking about let's say the Russians that are gonna be fighting against America. Okay, they're gonna have swords in their hand. They're gonna be ready to fight. But also you can think about it inside as nations in these different countries. Okay, because there's gonna be race riots as well. All right, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their hand, in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, like when you watch that movie Contagion, they cut off certain parts of the city, right? They shut down the bridge and all that, right? That's what's gonna happen in a major catastrophe, man. All right, when it's martial law everywhere, man. You're not gonna be able to get from here to Toronto, let's say, or here to Ottawa. You're gonna have to stay within the city that you're in. Okay, right? And imagine if there's not enough food. Right, which is said that there's going to be famine. So if there's not going to be enough food in that same city, people are going to go even crazier than they already are. All right. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See, the Most High is getting ready to really bring judgment upon the earth. Excuse me. Okay, people have been living in wickedness for so long. You know, they've been living under this wicked rulership for so long that wickedness just becomes normal to them, man. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Most High is going to have to really restart the earth, so to speak. First, he did it with water. Now he's going to do it with fire, man. Okay. And what that's going to do is that's going to replenish the earth, and also when Yahushua comes back, he's going to be sitting on that seat of rulership. You see. And that's what's going to bring things to a proper point, man. You know, bring righteousness on the earth. This is 2 Peter 3:13. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Okay? So that's what we're looking for. Okay, once the earth is once that World War III happens, right, and the nuclear missiles hit and the designated points that the Most High designated it to hit, all right, especially America, then there's going to be a new rulership on the earth, man, and that's where this is going to happen. Okay, it's going to be righteousness is going to flourish. Let me read that again. This is 2 Peter 3:13. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. Okay? Because in this present earth right now, under the rulership of the Edomites, there's not going to be any righteousness. There's not going to be any peace, man. Esau was not put here to bring peace, man. He was put here to bring destruction, to bring confusion. Okay? That's what Esau was put here for. So you got Jake's trying to change Edomites. You can't change Edomites. Edomites are going to do what they do, man. All right? Because that's what they were created to do. They were not created to be righteous. You see? Matter of fact, let's get get Proverbs real quick. Then I want to jump to Revelation 6. This is Proverbs 29. In verse 2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, that's a clear sign to show you that this is the rulership of the wicked, because nobody has been mourning or have not had a more depressed society such as this, man. Okay, people were not killing themselves on the level that they're killing themselves today in the history of mankind, man. All right. I'm talking about on the globe, man. You see? You got people are depressed. Even animals are depressed, man. All right? Esau has it where the animals are all fucked up. Because he's the wicked. You see? If he was the righteous, that wouldn't be happening, man. It would be the opposite. You see? As it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Which shows you that after, let's say, that 1,000 years of punishment that these other nations are going to have to face, they're going to be able to live, man. They're going to be able to enjoy the earth, okay? It's not going to be a constant oppression upon them, right? But if Esau was to continue to rule, it's going to be a constant oppression, man. It's not going to stop, you see? Because you see the way Esau likes to rule. He likes to do things based upon greed, based upon he doesn't care about the earth. He doesn't care about the animals. He doesn't care about nothing. He acts like he cares about it. He doesn't give a shit, all right? Because he's willing to build corporations that deal with plastic, knowing that plastic destroys the earth. It's not biodegradable. He's willing to continue to build that because of his greed, man, all right? And they're not going to stop. They're not going to say, okay, no, that's enough. Let's stop with the production of oil. Let's stop with gas run cars and things like that. They're not going to stop with that because Esau's first of all, he's the wicked, and he's greedy, man. All right, he likes to overindulge. You see? Let's get let me jump to Habakkuk, man. Let me jump to Habakkuk. You know, because that's going to show you, man. This is Habakkuk 2, and I'll start at verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, it is as death, and could not be satisfied." All right, that's speaking about the Edomites, man. Okay, they could not be satisfied. They enlargeth themselves as hell, which means everywhere they go, hell accompanies them, man. All right. Like, for example, let's deal with the Native Americans, man. When they were over here, right, they recorded that they didn't have no diseases, they didn't have no Down syndrome, none of that was out here. They were in tip-top shape, right? Then when the Edomites came, look at your average Native American on the reserve right now, man. Y'all obese, y'all got all kind of health problems, depressed, drinking themselves to death, all right? Drinking, rubbing alcohol, they're through, you see? But that's a result of what? The wicked coming there, man. The wicked coming over there and enlarging his desire as hell, you see? And it says, "And is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." All right? And that's all Esau does. All Esau does is goes to different lands and takes that which is not his. All right? You see? And the Most High is not, he's not with that. He's not with that. In other words, he allowed you to do it to fulfill prophecy, but there's a judgment for that. Okay? There's still a judgment. You can't just do that to the Israelites and think that the Most High is going to forget about that. You have to remember, everything that's happening on the earth right now, everything that you see happening as the way the earth is going right now, is based upon the Israelites, based upon what's had happened and what's happening to the Israelites. Okay? There was even someone who brought out an article, man, that the Russians, right? I was watching this. They brought out a document that the Russians, what they did, like in the, was it the 70s? I think it was the 70s, man, if I'm not mistaken. That they said that how America goes, right, is based upon how the so-called black people are treated in America. That's the way that America goes. Okay, so it's all dependent on that. So what Russia did was they tried to they made like some type of donation to help out the so-called African Americans out there, because at the end of the day, it's all about the Israelites, man. That's what the world runs on, man. The world runs off of the energy of the Israelites, man. Every trend that you see, everything, all these inventions, man. Anything that made the world, basically move forward was created by an Israelite. You see? Let's get Zechariah 2 and 8. This is Zechariah 2 and verse 8. It says, "But thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye." Okay? So that's it. You see? So if you're touching the Israelites, you're touching somebody that the Most High holds dear to his heart, man. Okay? A nation that the Most High is close to. You see? He's not close to any other nation. He's not close to Moab. He's not close to Ham. All right? Mizraim. Okay? He's close to the Israelites, man. So Esau, he knows he messed up, man. When the elites look back, they're like, damn, man, we really messed up, because at the end of the day, they know that who they touched was the chosen people, man. They touched the Israelites, man. You see? And that was the problem, man. It's not the problem that they did to Moab, they did to Elam. The judgment wouldn't have been severe like that if they had just did it to them. The reason why the judgment is so severe when we read it, right? It's like, oh, it seems like a lot. Oh, Esau's going to be put in slavery. Then he's going to be exterminated. It seems like a lot, right? But that's because he did that to the Israelites, man. Okay? This is Psalms 149 and verse 4. It says, "For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation." All right, so the Lord takes pleasure in the Israelites, just like you take pleasure in your son, okay, or your daughter. All right, you take pleasure in your children, right? So the Most High takes pleasure in the Israelites. You see? Verse 5, it says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people." So that the vengeance is for what? It's for what they did to us, man. Okay? He said it's vengeance. So vengeance is to pay back. All right? That means something was done. You see what I'm saying? And it says, "To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron." See? "To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh." All right? So, listen, man. We're going to take those elites, all right, like the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, right, the so-called queen, all them devils, and we're going to gather them up and put them in chains, man. Okay? And that's going to be the beginning of that judgment, the beginning of that payback. You see? Because that payback hasn't started yet. Esau thinks he's catching hell now because everyone's looking at him as the problem. Your judgment hasn't even begun to start yet, man. The time that when the clock starts ticking on your judgment is when you're put in chains, man. That would be the first day of the beginning of your judgment. Okay? Let's get Isaiah 14 still. Isaiah 14. This is Isaiah 14. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." And why is the Most High going to have mercy only on Israel? Because that's his chosen people. That's the people he loves. All right? "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." Very simple, man. Okay? we're going to take these Edomites, right? And they're all going to have to go into captivity, whichever ones of them that survive. You see? And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day, in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this parable against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath your oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Okay? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth in the singing. All right, like I said, when Esau, the Edomites are taken down, that's when the earth is going to be at rest. Okay? Before that, it's not going to happen. See? Before that, it's not going to happen. Okay? Because first of all, Esau was created to take peace from the earth. How can the earth be at rest? You see? Matter of fact, let me prove that. Let's get on Revelation, the 6th chapter. This is Revelation 6 and verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon. Right? And that red horse represents Esau. It represents the Edomites. Okay? That was the only nation that was recorded to come out, the progenitor to come out red. All right? And they're all red to this day. All right? You look at Edomites, they're not white. There's no such thing as white people, man. That doesn't exist. All right? You know? These Edomites, when you look at them, you see them, they're red because the blood shows forth through their skin. You see? So let's read that. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so that's speaking about the Edomites, man. You see, in their power of the weapon. Esau was given the blessing of ruling by his sword, man. Okay? And that's how Esau's been ruling since he came into power, man. When he came over here to the North American Indians, one of the quotes that Christopher Columbus had was, he didn't put his sword down for 1 minute, man. Regardless of how peaceful they were, right, and how nice they were and generous they were, his quote was, I didn't put down my sword for 1 minute. You see what I'm saying? So that's how Esau lives. Esau lives by shedding blood, by weapon. When you look up the word, and that shows you that spiritually they're Cain, man. Okay, because when you look at the word Cain, it means a weapon. You see? Some sort of weapon. Okay? So that's Esau. Esau he lives by the weapon. Let's get Genesis 27, man. So if you're looking for peace and change won't come and all this nonsense, you bumping Sam Cooke all day, right? Thinking that a change is gonna come. Well, yeah, change is gonna come, but before a change comes, Esau has to be taken out of power, man. There's not gonna be no change while this man is in rulership, while these people are in rulership. It's impossible. Okay? I just read you the scripture. It said that what? They came to take peace from the earth. That's why Esau, the Edomites, were put into power, man. It's to take peace from the earth, not to bring peace. Okay? Let's get it. This is Genesis 27 and verse 37. It says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? All right, and that was speaking about the blessing he gave to Jacob, because Jacob supplanted Esau's blessing, okay, which really was his to begin with. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Okay, so Esau was crying bitterly because Jacob took that birthright from him. Okay? And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. This is the blessing that was given unto Esau, man. He's saying, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, man. Okay? So it's plain as day, man. Esau, his blessing was a sword, and that's what it was speaking about in Revelations, the 6th chapter. It said there was one, the red horse, right, and the power was given unto him, right, of the sword, right, a great sword was given to him, rather, excuse me. You see? And that's how Esau lives. When you look at Esau and his track record is a track record of blood. And that's why Esau's so ashamed, man. See, because now, it's not like back in the 40s and the 50s, right? Esau was proud of that. Now they're starting to be ashamed of him because of that, because now the truth is coming out. You know? Back then, they would just paint themselves as some type of hero, and, you know, they'll big up the people who did all these different wickedness, and they'll big them up as some heroes, right? Now they're changing Christopher Columbus Day to so-called Indigenous Day, so-called, which is all bullshit anyway. But it's just to show you how Esau is ashamed now. You see? And the main reason why he's ashamed is because of this truth. When the apostles and elders came on YouTube in 2007, that was when Esau's shame started to really heighten, man. Okay? Because people started to really dig into things, man. Alright? How many Jakes you know before, let's say before 2007, that was saying they weren't dealing with Thanksgiving because it was a murderous holiday, man? How many Jakes were saying that before? There was not many, okay? But now you have them saying it because we're out there, man, because we're pushing the truth out, man. Okay? This is Numbers, no, Salakia. Let's get Isaiah 60. What's that, 65, is it? Salakia. Isaiah 47. This is Isaiah 47 and verse 1. It says, Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right? Which is speaking about the Edomites, man. Okay? Right? It's also speaking about the Edomites, but it's also speaking about America. Okay? Because guess what? Esau and America are synonymous. That's why when you speak about when you hear about when it speaks about Babylon, if you read Jeremiah 50 and 45, it speaks about the same judgment as Jeremiah 49 and was it 15? Except it says Edom instead of Babylon in 49. See? Because the judgment is synonymous. Okay? First of all, Babylon is Esau's, which is America, is Esau's head city right now. It's representative of Basra back in the ancient world. Okay? Take the millstone and grind mill, uncover thy locks, and make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Okay, which represents the shame. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. All right, their shame is being seen right now. That's why they're taking out. That's why they're changing Christopher Columbus Day to Indigenous Day, man. Okay, so-called whatever. All right, but they're doing that based upon the shame, taking out those different statues in America and all that. They're doing that based upon the shame that they have on them, man. Okay? And the shame is just going to increase. It's not going to slow down. Okay, that's enough shame. No, the shame is going to continue to increase. This kingdom is going to continue to get progressively wickeder, and the shame of Esau is going to be progressively more. All right. And Esau's he's already at a point where he's like, F it, man. He's ready to just let loose and just start to kill, man. Okay? Because he's like, listen, man, I might as well just be the devil. They found me out already. I might as well just be the devil. All right? Well, my answer to that, Esau, is be all you can be. All right? Matter of fact, I believe that's in Habakkuk 2 where it says, this is Habakkuk. Lucky this page is kind of messed up, man. I might go get a sword right now, man, after I leave here. Amaranta's that is it. This is Habakkuk 2 verse 14. It says, no, verse 15, Salaki, it says, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. All right, so Esau did that spiritually, which represents the philosophies, but he also did that physically. All right, with the Native Americans, man. We know about the history. All right, so but what did Esau do? They weren't dealing with alcohol back then. Okay. So he came, he gave them that, he told them that it was better than water. It was more healthy than water. So they started to drink it, and they had those spirits got on them, which is why they call it spirits today. All right? And basically he did that so that he could basically he could mess them up, man. And then look at how he destroyed them. All right? Now when you look at Gad now, they're completely destroyed. All right? It's rare to find a Gadite that's not a drunk right now on the res, man, and that's the truth. All right. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered." Right. So he's saying they're filled for shame. They have shame for glory. Right, which means all those things that they accomplished, so called, right? It's really all based upon wickedness, man, and evil. And murder, all right, and rape and robbery, man. And now the truth is coming out about that. So that's their glory being turned to shame, right? Let me read that again. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee." Salakia. "The Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." And that's what's happening. People they're shameful spewing on the glory of the Edomites right now. Okay? When you speak to the average Jake about Christopher Columbus, what is he gonna say, man, nowadays? Right? A lot of these Jakes are gonna be like, that's bullshit, man. Right? He was a murderer, he was this and that. Okay? Back then, if you go back to before the 2000s, they weren't saying that. They were just blindly following the Thanksgiving. They weren't saying shit about that. Okay, but now that the shame is being put up upon Esau's glory, now it's being looked down upon. You see, and that's another reason why Esau is mad, and that's why Esau is gonna go extra hard on you Jakes when it comes to the time for Jacob's trouble, man. And he's gonna always start with you Jakes, man. When it comes to the destruction of a community, he's always gonna start with you Israelites, man. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. He's always gonna do that. They show you that in the movie The First Purge, man. Okay, where did that take place? The First Purge. Where did they do that experiment? In the hood. They did that in the ghetto, man. All right, where the Israelites predominantly stay. Okay. Let's get Revelations 12 and 12. This is Revelations 12 verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. And ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And these Edomites, these elites that we have on the side, they know that they have a short time. They know that their time is almost up. Okay? They know that. You see? So as soon as the apostles and elders came on YouTube, their heart sunk to their testicles, man. Okay? Because they know that this is the truth. The elites study the Bible, man. They have their archaeologists go around the earth and dig up things that prove that the validity of the scriptures, man. All right? Like they already found the chariots of Pharaoh in the so-called Red Sea, right? What they call the Red Sea. They found that at the bottom of the sea, which shows you that story happened. All right? When you look at Mount Ararat somewhere in Turkey, they found the Noah's Ark, man. Okay, they found that, which is engraved into that mountain. Okay, and those mountains, I should say, multiple mountains. See, so Esau knows that this is the truth. His whole thing is he's gonna try and upset prophecy. He's gonna try and trick the Most High. You know, which makes no sense. Which shows you that he's really a fool. All this so-called technology that he has, right? The Most High gave that to a fool to show his power. Everything that he did, right, in this kingdom, the Most High gave it to him to show his power. That he could take the lowest scum on the earth and make him to be reverenced, man. See? That's in Daniel's, man. Because if it wasn't for the Most High, Esau would always be on the bottom, man. He was always looked at as a no people, man, as a scummy, thieving people, man. They were always looked at as that. Okay. Now later on, when they came back into power, they painted themselves as this good, benevolent, heroic people. They painted themselves as such, right? But now that's being taken down, because at the end of the day, the truth is going to be revealed, man. You see? But that's all the Most High's purpose, man. The Most High has a purpose for that, man. The Most High did everything perfect. Right? Okay, this is Daniel's 4:12, and it says, "This matters by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the words of the Holy One, Salakia, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men." All right. The basis of men means the lowest of men, and that's what the Most High did. He took Esau from the lowest condition and he put him on the highest condition. See, anywhere you go on the earth, right? Esau is at the highest part of society, man. These Edomites are at the highest part of society. Even when you go down to Africa, man. If you go down to South Africa right now, right? The people that are living in those good areas are Edomites, man. So-called white people. So you can understand, okay? You see, because the Most High took them from that low state and put them on the highest state. But they're about to be knocked back down. You see, that's why the Most High said in Malachi. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. And the average Edomite don't even realize that they're about to be knocked down. But the elites know, right? The bankers, the top banking families, they know. They study the Bible, man. They know they know who the Israelites are. They know the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Israelites according to the Bible. All right. They know that the Most High, Yahushua, is coming back to deliver the elect. They know that, man. That there's going to be a judgment for what Esau has done to us. The elites know that, man. Okay? It's the regular average six-pack Joe Edomite that doesn't know that, man. Okay? This is Malachi. Let's get Malachi 1 and 4. This is Malachi 1 verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. No, Salakia, let's start at 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And that's what happened. The Most High said, listen, they were at a low level. They were destroyed. Okay? They were through. And then the Most High put them on a higher level. Okay? And it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. All right, so the Most High's indignation against the Edomites forever. That's not going to stop. All right, even in the kingdom, when we're in the kingdom and they're in slavery under us, they're going to still be. The Most High's still going to have indignation against them. Okay, and that's why we're going to be able to do what we want to them, man. You see, they're going to get paid back double, man. They're not going to get paid back the same. Man. You see, when you read Revelations 18, it says, "Give unto her double." It doesn't say the same. All right? The Edomites are going to get paid back double, right? See? And when you really look back on the history of what Esau has done and what Esau is doing now, man, listen, a man can't measure double of that. You see what I'm saying? It's up to the Most High to measure that. Okay? Because it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. You know? But like I said, man, Esau was made to build up things. Now he's built himself back up. Now he's on top, right? But the Most High is going to take him back down to the bottom, and that's where he's going to stay until he's exterminated, man. Pursuant to what? Obadiah 1 and 18. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. This is Obadiah 1. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 10. It says, start at verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So based upon what they did to us, the violence that they did to us, okay, they're going to be cut off forever. You see? So that's going to be, but that's after they serve that slavery. Because they're not going to be cut off before they serve slavery. You see? Because they have to be paid back for that. It's all about payback, man. It's all about revenge. It's all about vengeance. You see? The Most High is a power of justice. He's not going to allow wickedness to just be swept under the rug, man. Okay? Especially when it's done to his chosen people. Especially when it's done to his chosen. Alright? It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest have not